is up, guys? It is esports content entertainment coming at you guys with another video here today. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Team Liquid and TSM. So, Team Liquid and TSM failed to make the 2022 League of Legends World Championship. That means they're going to be making roster moves, and we will get to see those roster moves play out officially later on this year. But as of right now, it's just pretty much going to be rumors and mostly speculation. But there have been some interesting articles coming out about Team Liquid and TSM. TSM actually made a official announcement on their Twitter page where they talk about like their game reports on when they're actually playing games live pertaining to all the esports they participate in. You know, there is one thing I'll tackle before I actually get more further in what I want to talk about in this video, but this pertains to the LCS anyway. So there was rumors that there could be an LCS org that is willing to potentially look to offers to sell their slot. Now, there's Immortals, Dignitas, Golden Guardians, and FlyQuest, right? Who people would probably deem like bottom tier LCS orgs. I wouldn't think that FlyQuest would want to sell their slot. I think FlyQuest has always been better than those orgs anyway, you know? FlyQuest just 2 years ago, you know, we're in finals. Back-to-back finals, actually, you know? They even made Worlds. I mean, FlyQuest would be the one I would think is not in that conversation, right? I hope not, because Dig has been pretty much bad ever since they've been in the LCS. I mean, Dig got lucky in the LCS 2017 summer split when they upset Cloud9 in that quarterfinals, and they, you know, lost against literally in that LCS 2017 summer split when they upset Cloud9 in the playoffs round 1. After that, they consistently lost to every team after that. Even in the gauntlet, I mean, the highest placing Dig has ever had has been like a third place match. That was 5 years ago. And outside of just that third place match, they've made playoffs sometimes and they've been out the first round. Doesn't really matter. Or they haven't even made playoffs, or they struggle to make playoffs. Like, Dig's just been bad. Dig's just trash. Golden Guardians, I mean, outside of the FBI, Huhi, Closer, you know, players that they had that 1 year, they've not really done anything. They had that one roster with Froggen and contracts, but that roster only got 5th place in the playoffs. 5th to 6th, right? Then you have, Immortals. They just came in this year, and they've looked like shit, you know? They used to be pretty good pre-franchising, but when they came back in, not too good, right? Now we're hearing that they want to retool their entire roster, actually. So you also have CLG, right? But CLG's did very well considering the massive bounce back they've had. They had a massive bounce back, so they're going to be doing just fine. So out of just Dig and Golden Guardians, we got to factor in, you know, these guys are owned by like the NBA backs them. So I think potentially they'll be fine, you know? But if they are, but they might be looking to sell their slot. I think the only orgs that I could see doing it are Immortals, Dig, or Golden Guardians, you know? And I really don't think either are going to be doing it. I think we'll be getting the same teams in the LCS come next year, actually. Now, talking about Team Liquid, I think it will be something that Team Liquid would want to definitely change up their bot lane. I mean, their bot lane just really wasn't working the way they thought it was going to work. I mean, there were games where it really did show that this could be one of the best bot lanes in the LCS. There was also games where it was shown it was going to be the worst bot lane in the LCS too. And then the other problem here is, like I talked about this coming into the year, which is Bjergsen and other players around him potentially having issues on how they want to see the game. I know I talked about that before, right? Now, it was kind of hinted at yesterday on another leak show that it was pretty much Core JJ and Bjergsen that didn't see eye to eye of how the game and how it wanted to be played. Now, that would make sense because it's Bjergsen, and having Bjergsen on your team is something we've talked about before. I'm not going to rag on the guy more than I already do. It's not that I hate Bjergsen, but it's just like, there's something about this guy where players don't play the way that they should with him for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, we can definitely see it in the game, right? So, that's my thing. Looking at that, Team Liquid definitely want to change up their roster, you know? Now, they actually have a good bot lane. Now, where would Core JJ go, actually? But let's tackle these 2 points. When I mentioned the good bot lane, Team Liquid have a good academy bot lane. We know that they're highly sought after right now by a lot of the LCS teams, right? But why would Team Liquid sell their good bot lane to any of the teams, actually? They would simply just keep the bot lane for themselves and then kind of rework the roster around that, right? So who could they keep? I think you keep Whippo. I think you keep Santorin. If you can get someone better than Bjergsen, I do it. If you could get to Cooley, Abadaga, I do it, actually. Maybe another, like, upcoming, you know, EU Masters mid laner. I think that is fine, actually. Not a bad thing, right? I just don't think Bjergsen's your guy, honestly. I think he looked pretty underwhelming throughout the year anyway. So I think it's fine to get rid of him if you really want to. I think you just get a new mid laner and keep Whippo and Santorin, and you have an NA bot lane. Now, we'll have to see the mid laner that they get if they go with this scenario, but that's just me personally. That's what I'm thinking right now. Because if Core JJ wants out, Core JJ could go to C9. It all depends on if Sven still wants to play support. I mean, they literally just won with Sven. They literally just won a title. So why would C9 entertain the idea of getting another player over Sven in support? Did Sven outplay Core JJ in support this past split? Kinda, but I still would always go for Core JJ over Sven if you're talking about just being a support player, you know? That's just me personally. So we have these articles coming to us from GameHoss. So yeah, LCS Eevee, we talked before, pretty cool guy actually. He was retweeting this, so definitely if he's retweeting it, there's some actual legitimacy to this. So let's go over it. Sources, Team Liquid strongly considering Yeon and Ayla to LCS for 2023. According to sources, Team Liquid Honda will likely promote their academy bot lane, Yeon and Ayla, at support to the LCS for 2023. This comes after Team Liquid had a disappointing year with their super team who failed to make it to Worlds. Here is the latest on the potential move. One of the most significant moves last offseason was the signing of Hans Sama to pair with Core JJ. Hans Sama was coming off an incredible showing at Worlds 2021, with Rogue looking for a new contract. Team Liquid brought him alongside one of the greatest supports in League of Legends, Core JJ. It seemed like a fantastic move. Instead, while definitely not a disaster, it was the microcosm of everything wrong with TL season. They were fine, but not good enough to achieve what was set before them. They were not the only ones to blame with the underperforming season, and this is referenced in co-CEO Steve Arset's video that was released on Twitter. In the video, he says that Team Liquid are going to be making changes. Yeah, so I already covered that video already. That is already up on the channel, actually. So, right here, if one is to read between the lines, he is likely discussing the Team Liquid Academy team. It is why this announcement of Yeon and Ayla making their way to TL's main roster should not come as a surprise. They have been one of, if not the best bot lanes in Academy, and will look to continue that at the highest level of North America. So that's my thing. I would just promote the bot lane and see where your pieces follow, because we know that Team Liquid usually tries to get their roster done in the offseason pretty quickly. They're definitely making decisions right now. I mean, they literally failed pretty big. Now, that's it for Team Liquid. Other than that, I think they should start doing that more consistently. They did the whole super team angle because they've had a bigger budget. You know, Steve particularly has had a bigger budget than other org owners. I mean, it depends on how you want to consider that a GM kind of thing. I know people talked about like Jack being a GM for Cloud9, but if Steve has a bigger budget, he can get more prolific players from name value alone. So we'll have to see how that works. Now for TSM. TSM's a bit different because TSM tried to do this whole like LPL, LDL fucking, you know, roster. That failed completely. Then they tried like really switching it up, you know, and then that also didn't work. Then they switched up again. Didn't work. And they switched it up one more time with Solo and Chime, and that kind of started working. It got them a little far in the lower bracket, but yeah, simply didn't work out. They also had a really bad year. Unlike Team Liquid that had just like roster issues with their League of Legends team, TSM had so many other issues, even just outside of League and once in League of Legends. So if they're looking to retool their roster, I'm not even surprised. You know, that should be a no-brainer actually. Sources, TSM to part ways with head coach Chowie. According to sources, TSM will be parting ways with head coach Chowie. This comes after TSM's loss in the second round of the 2022 Summer Split lower bracket to Evil Geniuses 2-3. Chowie finished his first and only year with the team. No corresponding moves are known as of yet. TSM finished 6-12 and 7th in the 2022 LCS Summer Split. The entirety of the 2022 season was scattered and confusing. The many changes at the top of TSM, the experiment with Kieto and Shenny, Peter Zhang, and even the decision to start Tactical over Instinct in the middle of the FlyQuest series have made it a long year for the org and fans. What was surprising was that TSM were able to take Evil Geniuses, the first seed, to the brink. They were in position in Game 5 to not only take the series, but be one series away from Worlds 2022 qualification. Alas, it was not meant to be. With Spica already on his way out and Solo's contracts up as well, there will be more major decisions for TSM to make. Currently, the future of strategic and head coach K's is uncertain at this time. Well, we'll find out about that in just a moment. These decisions will fall on the shoulders of VP of Esports Dominic Callis and Assistant General Manager Glenn. This will be their first true League of Legends offseason as they look to bring promise back to this storied team. So the other interesting part of this actually is, I mean, that guy that they mentioned down there, Dominic, is really kind of fucking crazy. Oh god, I don't want to go over that. But the thing here is TSM is gonna make a lot of changes. Now, we will never really truly know what the coaching staff does, but let's be honest here. They are a part of the success of the team, no matter how much you try to slice it. Now, if you look at potentially what this could mean, let's see how it plays out, honestly. You know, like, Chowie was definitely given a weird circumstance of players, and we'll just have to see how it goes, honestly. But the thing here is, what do they really want to do with TSM? Like, do you want to go with a complete rebuild? But wait, was this year supposed to be? This year was supposed to be that. This year, after losing Bjergsen and Lena and all the people, it was supposed to be like a rebuild for TSM, right? Well, that looked like shit. So, let's see how it goes. You know, I think you definitely need some star players, and the whole thing with Spica was, I thought Spica definitely played pretty okay this year. They weren't willing to give him a little bit more money, but to be fair, Spica definitely did not play up to the standards that I think that TSM even, like, thought themselves, right? He didn't play that good this year. Let's not go too crazy here. So then, we have the final piece of news with this right here, that being TSM themselves announced this. Today, we announced the departure of our LCS strategic coach and head coach, Case LOL. We cannot thank Case enough for his hard work and effort over the years with us, and we wish him all the best in his future. So yeah, they confirmed they're getting rid of Case right here, and there's pretty much rumors, according to sources, that they're going to be getting rid of Chowie too. So yeah, lots of spicy offseason roster moves. Where would Case go? Actually, what would TSM do for their LCS roster coming into the LCS 2023 Spring Split? What is Core JJ going to end up doing? Will Core JJ stay on Team Liquid? Who will Steve choose? Because he chose Bjergsen over Jensen. That didn't work out to him so well. Who is he going to choose? Bjergsen or Core JJ? A player that brought the organization success? Or you choose Bjergsen, a washed-up, overrated mid laner that everyone just sucks off for no reason whatsoever. And then when you point out problems with Bjergsen, people just suck him off so hard. It is just incomparable. It's just incomprehensible, actually. But yeah, what do you guys think about all these roster potential moves and the confirmed ones that we just got? What do you guys think about TSM and Team Liquid right now going into the 2022 offseason? So I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I am MSK, and this is Variety Content Entertainment. All right, guys. Deuces.